Hi there, Nigel Saunders here of KW Bonsai. Today on this dreary winter day, I'm giving you a splash of color. Julian and I were at the greenhouse the other day and we purchased 4 new plants. One of the ones he picked was a sensitivity plant, which is a mimosa. And if you touch it, the leaves fold up. Like that. The leaves fold up at night too, and they come out in the morning again. So Julian thought that would be a good plant to plant as a ground cover underneath our avatar tree. I already had some pale pink bougainvilleas, so this time I got a Vera pink, which is a deeper kind of pink color, just because they look really good together. Julian also picked out a pitcher plant. You can see the pitchers forming on it. So that's going to be a really interesting plant in future. Another plant I got is this crown of thorns cactus. Very prickly. And it gets little colorful flowers on top. And they can get quite a nice woody trunk as they get old. I haven't seen too many as a bonsai tree, but they had some older ones for sale in the greenhouse that were $19.99. This was $6.49. And they were quite mature looking and looked like a miniature cactus tree. So that's the new plants. We got 4 new plants for the plant room. Some that'll be accent plants or undercover plants. And some will be bonsai trees. For today's work, we're going to start on a plant that I've had for a couple of years now. It started out as a little cutting, and it's grown quite well. It's a Croton. And they have these colorful leaves. They're tropical. And I've done one cut on it. Last summer I cut the trunk off just above the first branch here, which is now kind of taken over as the trunk. And today we're going to be pruning this branch down shorter, in hopes to get more shoots to come out and create a little bushy tree. The leaves on the Croton start out this kind of speckled green color, and then as they get older they get some yellow colors in them, and then as they even get older they get some nice red tinges. A really nice colorful plant to make into a tropical bonsai. I'll probably cut the height down to about here. There's a leaf scar I see here that would grow a new branch here. Might be one on the inside there too. So yeah, I'll probably cut it right here. There's a leaf scar here and there's one back here which would give me some nice branches fanning out from the center of the trunk. So I think I'm going to go right here. So here I go. There. I'll plant the top as a cutting. I'll just remove the lower leaves. And stick it in a pot with bonsai soil and bury it up to about here and see what happens. Here's what the tree looks like now without the top on it. I'm going to remove, there's a leaf that's growing inside here in towards the trunk that I'm going to remove just to give this new trunk a bit of light. I think I'll also just prune the top off this branch like that, so we get some subdividing. And that'll be it for this tree for today. The second plant we'll be working on today is my Christmas cactus. This is a fairly old plant. It's probably 18 years old. It was just a cutting that was given to me. And I was going to wait till it all flowered before I did this video on it, but the flowers only came out like one at a time. And then a lot of the flower buds fell off because it kind of got dark over Christmas. Didn't get much sunlight. And now I see there's some more flower buds forming. So I was going to make a video on this plant last year. But what happened is just before I was going to make the video, I had it on the floor in the greenhouse and a mouse came in and it chewed the trunk rather severely. You can see it from this view. It looked like an apple core when the mouse was done with it. There was a big cut out of this side and a big cut out of this side. And I thought, oh no, Wasn't even sure the tree was going to live, or the cactus. So I kind of piled the soil up and it grew roots here, and the trunk is definitely recovering. I wouldn't say it's 100% there yet, but I'm hoping someday it blends in again. If not, I would probably have to cut it off here and then, reroot it as a large cutting. But I think it'll be okay. I think we'll just leave it and see how it heals over. The Christmas cactus reacts nicely to bonsai techniques. If I want one of these branches to subdivide, I just prune it at one of the nodes here, like that, and it'll sprout 2 or 3 new branches coming off of the cut point. Today I'm just going to clean up the structure, some of the clutter in here, and give it a bit of a general pruning. These cactuses aren't dry desert cactuses. They naturally grow in rainforests up in the canopy of the trees, and they'll grow on the mossy branches. And you can see on the leaves they grow all these aerial roots that would grow out and grip the tree branches, and they would just kind of grow along like a vine. I'm going to start pruning down low here. If I rotate it around, you can see there is a woody branch back here. So I only want the one branch here. I don't want all this new growth that's come in to clutter up the design. So let's get rid of all this new growth that's come in, and I'll just scissor prune it off. And we'll just keep our one woody branch there. There's a really strong shoot here that I'm wondering if I should keep. Maybe I should. I'm thinking I can have the twin V-shaped trunk here, and this more as a side branch. So I'll do that. This one's starting to go woody already. So I'll just get rid of the branches in here. And we'll keep a side branch on that. So we'll get rid of this one. Like that. These cuttings, if you plant them, they'll all grow. They root really easily. Just put them in some soil and keep them misted. So we have our branch coming up. I think I'll get rid of this little one underneath. We're subdividing from 1 into 2, and 2 into 2 again, so I'm going to prune it off here, and here, and here. So you just prune it like any other bonsai tree. One branch dividing into 2, then that dividing again into 2, and so on. So I'm going to get rid of these shoots out the back here. Like that. I want to keep a canopy up top, so I'm just going to prune the growth back to the first leaf so we get a lot of subdividing. I'll keep my flower bud there. So there's our Christmas cactus all pruned up, looking like a tropical tree. The next tree I'm going to be doing some work on is the Crown of Thorns. And basically I just want to repot it into some good bonsai soil so it grows well for the rest of winter. I'm going to repot it into this clay pot, which is just slightly bigger than the one it's in now. I'll start by removing the tree, being very careful. There's a lot of thorns on this, and it's probably going to bite me. But we'll see what we can do. There it comes. It is kind of wiggly in the soil. I imagine this is a cutting that's, still rooting. I have no idea what type of roots this plant has. So we'll just start combing out. Usually cactuses have pretty tough roots. They have to survive the dry desert heat. So it looks like it has a pretty good root system in here. When that gets in the bonsai soil, it'll develop really nicely. Bonsai soil is great for desert plants. So you can see it's got a pretty good root system on it. I mean, it's not thick and woody, but it's there, and it's nice and radial, even all the way around. And the roots are quite tough. They're not fragile, brittle little roots. They're roots that you can comb out easily. Well, this is where I'm trying not to prick myself. So the tree's quite top heavy. I'm going to have to prune off some weight off the top of the tree. There we go. We've got a good root system, and it's ready for planting. On the root system, there is one root that's higher than all the rest that I'm going to prune off. Like that. You can see the trunk. We're going from our root system. It's quite skinny, and it gets a little thicker up top here. So hopefully that'll, be corrected in future, that it'll thicken up down below here. I want to remove some weight from the top of the tree so it's a little more stable in the pot. So I'm going to cut back some of these branches here and maybe remove some of them. Just studying them, trying to see what to remove. This one is quite thick and heavy. I think that one's going to have to go. So that one's gone. You can see how they get thicker as they grow up towards the top. I think I'm also going to remove some of these lower branches, so we have a little more of a trunk. Maybe even all of them. I think I will. I'm going to remove all of the lower branches. Maybe I'll keep one. Keep that one there. Give it a little interest the way it curves up there. It looks kind of cool. Next up top, I'm going to remove this one branch interfering with the other trunk. That one's go on. The rest aren't too bad. I think we'll try it like that. So there's our little tree, roughly styled. I'll put my screen in the bottom of the pot and get it filled with soil. I'll fill it to about there, I think. Let's see how that would fit in. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll bury it a little higher just to support the plant until the root system gets established in the pot. So the next step will be to hold the plant carefully, and I want to rake out the roots to get them in position, nice and radial if I can. That's pretty good. And I'll fill it in with soil. And there we go. And just work that into the roots a bit. And keep filling it up. And the tree's staying vertical by itself. That looks good. Alright, we'll give it a watering next. And I'll just start with the spray bottle. Just wet the surface. And then we'll adjust it more to a jet. Then we'll finish watering with our bottle cap watering system. Make sure all the soil is nice and damp. I'll be planting all the cuttings I got off it in hopes of getting more crown of thorns bonsai trees. That's it for today for our morning of gardening. So Nigel Saunders of KW Bonsai. Do something green today. Challenge yourself to walk places and ride your bike and use your green transportation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.